Good morning everybody. In today's class I am going to discuss with you the next segment of sexual reproduction in flowering plant, that is double fertilization. So already we have seen fertilization in many organisms. Fertilization means fusion of male gamete with female gamete to form a zygote. Whenever a haploid male gamete fuses with the haploid female gamete to form a diploid zygote, that we call the fertilization or syngamy. But in case of flowering plants or angiosperm, we see the unique function or unique phenomenon, that is double fertilization. Then what is double fertilization? Inside the embryo sac of angiosperm, there are two fusions takes place. One is trifle fusion, another one is syngamy. These two phenomena together called the double fertilization. One more time I will repeat. Double fertilization means inside the embryo sac of angiosperm there are two fusions. One is trifle fusion, another one is syngamy. These two fusions together called the double fertilization. What is that trifle fusion? What is syngamy? We will discuss later. Before I explain the whole process of double fertilization, I will recall you the things which we have studied in the last class. Because, so without knowing all those things, we are not able to clarify the whole process, what exactly the fertilization is there and how it takes place. So all these things are very clearly we can understand only after observing some of the free fertilization events when we know. So there are some events which are taking place before fertilization. Such events we used to call the free fertilization events. We have discussed in detail in our previous class also. But in brief I am going to recall all those things. So the gamete formation is there, and once the gamete formation is over, the gamete has to transfer from the anther to the stigma, and that process we call as the pollination. So the first event which is necessary for the fertilization is pollination. It's the transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma of a pistil. This process we call as a pollination. But we are not saying confirmly that pollination brings always correct type of pollen grain only, or right type of pollen grain only, or you may call the compatible pollen grain only. There is a chance of a falling of a wrong type of or incompatible pollen grain on the stigmatic surface also. But stigma is the one which decides or identifies whether the pollen grain fallen on the stigmatic surface is the right type or wrong type. And there is a interaction takes place between pollen grain and the stigmatic surface, and that interaction we call as a pollen pistil interaction. And because of this pollen pistil interaction, what happens? Stigma identifies the right type of pollen grain, and this pollen grain will start germinating or starts producing pollen tube. And this is a process which takes place between the pollen grain and the stigmatic surface, which is mediated by a chemical substance. The stigmatic surface secretes a type of sugar and water which is absorbed by the pollen grain, and after absorbing, the generative cells little bit extends and it starts growing the pollen tube. And this pollen tube comes out of one of the germ pore. Usually one pollen tube growth is there, that we call the monosyphonous. But sometimes what happens, there are more than one pollen tubes may also grow, but only one is useful, and such condition we call as a polysyphonous also. And the usually pollen grains germinate or they fall on the stigmatic surface when they are two celled stage. One is vegetative or tube cell, another one is generative cell. Once the pollen tube growth starts, generative cell, which is floating in the cytoplasm of the tube cell, is going to be divided into two haploid male gametes. It's going to divide into two haploid male gametes. And this pollen tube starts entering or piercing inside the stigma into the style. The pollen tube enters along with three cells, two male gametes and the one vegetative cell. The style, this portion we call the style. The style may be in some cases it is a hollow or it may be solid. Once the pollen tube starts entering, it usually reaches micropylar end in most of the cases. But it is not compulsory. It may enter through the chalazal end also. It may enter the integuments also. It's different in different cases, but in most of the cases, pollen tube reaches the micropylar end only. In the previous class, we have studied the whole structure of a ovule. But one more time, I will repeat the structure also. Ovule is a small structure present inside the ovary, which is attached to the wall of the ovary with the help of a placenta, and it is connected with the stalk-like structure called the funicle. Where the funicle attaches the body of the ovule is called the hilum. And this ovule is encircled outside with the two protective layers. They are called the integuments, and there is a small gap at the micropylar end that we call the micropylar end, or the opposite end is called the chalazal end. And inside the integuments there is a mass of cells, and this tissue is called the nuclear tissue. And inside the nuclear tissue we see the female gametophyte or embryo sac. So embryo sac is usually the 8 nucleated 7 cell stage when pollen tube reaches it towards the micropylar end. In the micropylar end we see the 3 cells. These cells are called the egg apparatus. All these 3 cells together called the egg apparatus. And this egg apparatus is made by 2 synergid and 1 egg cell. And its opposite end we call the chalazal end, which is made which also has a 3 cells, and these cells are called the antipodal cells. The center is called the central cell. This portion is called the central cell, which has 2 polar nuclei. Means a embryo sac has the 7 cells with 8 nuclei. Once the pollen tube reaches the micropylar end, the pollen tube first enters the synergid, and inside the synergid it enters a structure called the filiform apparatus. And this filiform apparatus guides the pollen tube to enter inside the embryo sac. And at the tip of the pollen tube there are 2 male gametes. One male gamete of the pollen tube fuse with the egg cell, and this fusion we call the syngame. One male gamete of the pollen tube fuse with the egg, and this fusion we call the syngame. The haploid male gamete is fusing with the haploid egg, and this fusion we call the syngame. Another male gamete will fuse with these two polar nuclei, and this is called the triple fusion. So this is triple fusion and this is syngamy, and these two processes takes place inside the embryo sac. There are two fusions, that is why this is called the double fertilization. And syngamy results the zygote, and this zygote later develops into the embryo, whereas triple fusion results the primary endosperm cell, and this primary endosperm cell later develops into the endosperm, which is always triploid. And after fertilization, the zygote is becoming embryo, primary endosperm cell produces the endosperm, and the next is the antibody cells are degenerating. Synocytes are also already, one is ruptured, another is degenerating. The ovule is going to become seed and ovary is becoming fruit. And all these events together called the forced fertilization events. In the next class, we will discuss the endosperm formation. Thank you.